What's up, guys? Today I am talking about why open houses are as good as gold. Stay tuned. So, guys, the art of the open house here. There's a handful of things that I picked out here that I think are important to think about when we talk about doing open houses. Now, I think open houses have gotten a bad rap over the years. And truthfully, I think it's because most folks don't know how to hold them well. These are hands down, in my opinion, one of the best ways to get new business. And I'm hearing a lot of rumblings right now about agents that are looking for more business, and yet so many agents are handing off open houses, and it's crazy to me. Number one, weekdays are gold. We've been testing at the Valor Group holding open houses during the weekdays, not just weekends. And I'll tell you guys, my team may not like the fact that I'm divulging this, but we're getting more traffic on the weekdays than we do on the weekends. Now, we've tried this hosting them during afternoons on the weekdays. We've done it during the evenings. And what we're finding is that the evenings are generally a little bit better, but truthfully, it doesn't matter. If you've got a good open house option, host that thing whenever you're able to. If that's a Tuesday at 2 p.m., do it, because we are getting traffic through our listings using that method. The other thing to keep in mind is if you are, let's say that the listing is coming live on a Wednesday and you host an open house on a Wednesday, every single other listing out there, you know it as well as I do, comes on market Thursday or Friday, and they do open houses Saturday and Sunday. If you're a super motivated buyer, you've been living in a hotel with your spouse and 3 kids and 2 dogs for 3 months because you keep losing out on offers, you're probably pretty stinking motivated at this point. And if you see that there's an open house on a brand new listing on a Wednesday, guess who's showing up at that open house? That motivated buyer. And they're probably, if they like what they see, they're not going to wait to see all the others. So you're going to be the exclusive agent getting that traffic, and you're going to be getting the traffic from the most motivated buyers. Guys, you should be doing this. Number 2, inspect what you expect. If you are an agent, you're getting plenty of business and you're handing off your open house to another agent, I strongly encourage you inspect what you expect. I did this as many years ago. Nobody currently on my team, thank goodness. I actually sent in secret shoppers to see how they were doing, were they set up like they should be. They engaged with the agent and asked just basic questions, right? What are the HOA fees? What's the square footage of the home? And I'll tell you, the agent couldn't answer them. It was embarrassing. And so I said from that point on, never again. We are going to inspect what we expect. If we're having agents holding our open houses, look, this is a reflection on you, not on them. It's your name on that sign, not theirs. You need to make sure that they're doing what you expect them to do. Number 3, if you have a really good lead come in, right, a really good buyer, the key here is you have to set your next appointment with that person before they leave the house. I will tell you, and I'm sure there are going to be folks that want to argue with this, and that's fine. I promise you the numbers play out. If you don't land the next meeting, and it can be something simple, right? Like, hey, let's sit down and talk about what plans you have to buy a house or whatever. It doesn't matter what the next appointment is. But if you have a good conversation with somebody at an open house, they're a buyer and you're hoping to work with them, and you let them leave without having another appointment in place, the chances of you ultimately turning that into business are very low. The key is to actually get the appointment set while they're there in person with you. Now, look, you're a salesperson. This is what you are born to do. You should be able to do this, right? If you don't, or you're having trouble with it, that's not a problem. That's not a reflection negatively on you necessarily, but reach out for help. Folks like me, I'm happy to help you up your game and whatever with that. We can strategize, but you should be landing those appointments before they ever walk out that door to increase your odds of actually converting them into a new client. Number 4, open houses, guys. This is the cheapest cost per lead out there. You know, whether you love Zillow, you hate Zillow, love Realtor.com, hate Realtor.com. I mean, people pay lots of money for this stuff. When I finally got rid of my Zillow account years ago, I was paying upwards of $300 and $400 per lead. And obviously, we're not going to close all of those. But at an open house, you figure, look, you've got the cost of balloons if you use them. Those are kind of going in and out of fashion, every so often. And then your time. That's it. You've got next to no money in this. And you're going to walk away. You should walk away basically from every 2 open houses you hold. You should have 1 actual client that goes to settlement with you from those open houses. So this is the cheapest cost per lead out there. You cannot buy leads from anywhere else that have a better chance of success for cheaper than you can get at open houses. Number 5, Stay curious. Don't go for the throat. I wrote that down as one because I see it constantly and it drives me nuts. And what I mean by that, when somebody walks in and you jump straight into sales mode, like you're trying to close them, you're trying to like sell this house, like right now. Not that you shouldn't be trying to sell the house, but for God's sake, man, like be a human being, right? Like have some conversation before you jump straight for the throat and try to close them on this house or on working with you. I think the same is true for like the sign-in sheet. Everybody knows what those are for now. We use them so that we can then follow up with these people and hopefully win them as clients. But when you're shoving the sign-in sheet down their throat the minute they walk in the door, I'm just thinking of me as a consumer. I can be sort of a forward individual. I'd tell you to pound sand, man. Don't shove that in my face, right? Earn the right to get me to sign in, and I'm happy to do it, but don't just expect or shove it at me like it's a given. Warm up to them, be personable, build that rapport, build the trust, then ask for the business to close, whatever. Similar to that, my last one here is don't ask dumb questions. And by that, I mean, guys, we need to stay curious. We need to be asking them questions as they're coming in. But the one that it's like nails on a chalkboard to me is, what brought you in today? It's like, really? The house, knucklehead. Like, that's why I'm here. What do you mean, what brought me in here today? Don't ask questions that are so blatantly obvious, as to the answer. I get what you're trying to do with that, right? Like, you're trying to open up that discussion about sales or whatever. But instead of asking what brought you in today, why don't you say something like, hey, where did you travel from to get here today? It may be they traveled from Georgia and they're relocating, or it may be that they traveled from just around the block and they're a neighbor, right? Each of those are going to have different follow-up discussions, but that's not like such a silly, obvious question, what brought you in today, right? Where did you travel from to get here today? And then you can go down whatever path that takes you. Stay curious, but ask good questions. Guys, if you ever have any questions about how to run a really effective open house, what are some of the metrics that we use when we look for the best open houses to hold, send me a DM, send me an email, shoot me a text message. I'm always happy to help.